where everything stands with those talks, the significance of it, and really what we can expect.
Sure. So the prime minister announced yesterday, on Thursday, that he actually instructed his team, his cabinet, the day before to begin these direct negotiations with Lebanon. This comes after several requests from the government there to create this dialogue, because what is happening with Hezbollah is a serious conflict. What we are working to do, Josh, and as you are showing the skyline of Beirut on your viewer screens right now, is to dismantle, to demilitarize, to disarm a terror organization, a genocidal terror organization that has built its mass against our northern border, not only threatening our civilians on our northern border, but also in central Israel in addition. Plus, the Lebanese people who have been held hostage by another Iranian terror proxy that surrounds the state of Israel. You probably have reported, Josh, just over the last few days, these explosions that took place in Beirut just a few days ago. You've probably seen those images all over social media. But I'll tell you one thing, the headlines got the story wrong. The headlines by the press, somehow these journalists covering this conflict failed to mention Hezbollah in all of this. And you see that completely omitted, whether it's on purpose or whether they just simply don't know what they're reporting on, Josh. I want to tell you, Hezbollah is the problem here. This is not a conflict. This is not an operation against the Lebanese people. This is to free the Lebanese people of a terror regime that embeds themselves in the heart of civilian communities and in populations. There is no reason why weapons and infrastructure of a terror organization should be underneath homes and inside of apartment buildings and complexes in the heart of Beirut. But this is what Israel is working to do, to target these infrastructures of this terror proxy and regime of the Ayatollah regime in Iran, and to make sure it no longer exists and poses a threat to us.
And you kind of touched on this there, but I wanted to ask you specifically, because we know over the past several days, one thing we've heard about this peace plan between the U.S., Israel, and Iran is that it does not include Beirut, which of course is why the talks are necessary there. I wanted to ask you specifically why that is maybe a red line for Netanyahu, saying that it can't include Beirut right now. We need to continue those operations against the Hezbollah terror group.
Well, look, the prime minister made it clear yesterday that there is no ceasefire in Lebanon right now because it is so critical to dismantle this terror organization. You know, we've learned the very difficult way on October 7th what happens when a terror organization says what they mean. When they want to destroy us, when they say they want to murder us, we need to believe them. When it comes to Hamas, it's the same mentality with Hezbollah. We have to believe this genocidal terror organization that's up on our northern border. Josh, actually last night, because we're in a ceasefire right now, of course, we didn't expect any sirens to sound here in central Israel coming from Iran. I want your viewers to know that we actually had sirens go off around 1:30 a.m. here in Tel Aviv. And it was actually from a long-range Hezbollah rocket that targeted this area. They pose a direct threat to the Israeli people and the Lebanese people as well. You're looking at a statement the prime minister put out yesterday specifically on these talks. And there's two objectives when it comes to these negotiations that should take place within the next coming days or so. Is the first one, we want to see Hezbollah disarmed. Remember, there was a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hezbollah back in 2024 that was established. They were not disarmed by the Lebanese government, which was a commitment that was made. We are expecting these negotiations to get us to a place where there no longer is a terror organization. And two, we want long-term peace with Lebanon. We want to be able to have a relationship with this country. You know, we used to have a relationship with Lebanon back in the day, and our people used to be able to move freely within this area we are in the Middle East. In addition to trade, we want to have a peace treaty with Lebanon and the Lebanese people as well.
One thing that's interesting is you hear a lot of folks that talk about the situation there in Lebanon, Beirut specifically, and they refer to it almost as if it's one operation there, both Lebanon together with Hezbollah, but they are very different. Can you explain for folks out there maybe how the Lebanese people in general feel about the Hezbollah terror group?
Sure, this is certainly, and I can assure you, not an operation against the Lebanese people. And I'll make that very, very clear. Any strikes the IDF is taking is working to remove any type of threat to the civilian population. In addition, these are precision strikes. This is an operation to once again liberate another community in the Middle East who is suffering under the terror reign of another Iranian terror proxy. I'll also put some blame on the media. Unfortunately, with the headlines completely omitting Hezbollah from this conflict, it's creating confusion as to why Israel is striking in these specific areas, civilian neighborhoods in Beirut, in addition to southern Lebanon. It's because Hezbollah hides their infrastructure amongst the civilian population, using their own people as human shields. They have done this for decades. The question that most journalists, Josh, are not even asking when it comes to this conflict is, why are there Hezbollah infrastructure, weapon depots, military sites located in the heart of civilian communities? This is the question that needs to be asked. And the answer is they want to maximize civilian harm for propaganda purposes. Israel does everything that we can to try to reduce any type of civilian casualties. That's what we have done in every single conflict. We will continue to do that because we're working with precision strikes. But unfortunately, when the media is spreading one narrative, it's hard for the rest of the world to understand that. This is not an operation against the Lebanese people. It is to remove this terror reign, this terror organization of Hezbollah that has been holding them hostage for decades.
And my last question here before I let you go, and again, you touched on this there, but I wanted to ask specifically, how is the IDF, the Israeli military, everyone in Israel there, working to ensure that the civilians of Lebanon are safe as these strikes, the precision strikes there against Hezbollah, are underway?
Sure. Well, the IDF uses incredible intelligence that we have gathered when it comes to these locations and civilian populations, and also, of course, in southern Lebanon. Remember, the only reason why we're doing this is because our people are under direct threat. We had a ceasefire in place in 2024, which unfortunately was broken by Hezbollah just last month after Operation Roaring Lion was launched. Hezbollah, what they're working to do is to defend the Ayatollah regime. They're not defending the Lebanese people. They're actually defending the terror regime inside of Iran that is also holding their own people hostage as well. So when it comes to this, we are working to defend our people. We're going to continue to do that. And we're going to ensure that there is security for the future and peace. Prime Minister Netanyahu has made that clear. We are working to establish peace in the Middle East. And the campaigns that have gone on, whether it's Operation Roaring Lion or the operation to eliminate, disarm, demilitarize the terror proxy Hezbollah, is to create peace, a sustainable peace in the region for all of us together, Josh.
Shosh Bedrosian, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and helping to break everything down there. I wanted to ask you before I let you go if there's anything that you specifically want to mention before I let you go.
I think it's really important for your viewers to understand what is happening between this operation inside of Lebanon against Hezbollah. I want people to know the history of who this terror regime is and who they're funded by and who they're propped up by. There are terror proxies that surround the state of Israel with one goal only, to destroy the state of Israel, to destroy us, to destroy the only Jewish state in the world. We will never allow that to take place. But all of these terror proxies, whether it's Hamas inside of Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, or Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, in other parts of Lebanon as well, they are all funded and propped up by the Iranian terror regime, the Ayatollah regime. And the number one terror proxy and the strongest proxy is Hezbollah. It is so important that we stand up to this terror regime inside of Lebanon, this of the Hezbollah terror organization. We finally put an end to all of this. And our operations through our heroic soldiers are working to do that every single day, putting their lives on the line. And our civilians here in Israel are doing an impeccable, incredible job of taking shelter and hiding and doing what they can to protect themselves.
You in the earpiece,
because they also know how
but this is the remains of one of many buildings hit here in Beirut today in these unexpected strikes. No sign of a ceasefire.